Hello everyone, and today in this lecture we will pass CV screening. So it is our week 2. So by the plan we will pass CV screening. In this lecture I will cover some topics related with the sections of CV. For example, we have several sections in our CV, so which are education, experience, project, skills, and which kind of things we need to do and which kind of things we don't need to do. And after that, I will share with some useful links, and at the end I will give some homework. So let's start. In our CV, we need to fully spell our university name and fully spell our degree. For example, bachelor science of computer engineering, and we need to start from the most recent education. For example, if you just finished bachelor's, so you need to write only bachelor, or for example, if you finished master degree after bachelor, so you need to firstly write your master degree education, and after that bachelor. And also we need to include our dates. For example, so in which date we started our education and in which date we graduated our university. And let's look at experience. So when we write the list of companies, we need to fully spell the names of companies. For example, if we work in some companies, let me think some Caspi, we don't need to write just Caspi. We need to write the name of Caspi. For example, it is something like LLP Caspi or Caspi in INC or etc. So and also we need to write it by the right timing. For example, we need to first write the most recent place, and after that we need to sort them by the time in which period we worked at that company. And after, we need to pay attention about dates, for example, in which date we started to work and which date we finished. And also one of the main things that we need to write some text about our company, so what we did, so what kind of impact we did, and what is the main feature of some projects. For example, we need to write some accomplishment, impact, and challenge. So what kind of challenge we had, etc. For example, here I wrote some example. For example, developed a backend part of online store, which was launched during pandemic period. For example, you have some online store which sells some clothes. So, for example, which launched during pandemic period, and after that, for example, you had some numbers. So when we write some short story, we need to pay attention mostly in numbers. So for example, you created some project and you have some number of customers. For example, in this case, we wrote about more than 500 customers used the service, and up to date, so up to now, about more than 2,000 orders have been received and processed through the website. So something like this, we need to pay attention also in numbers in our projects. And also one of the main things, what kind of languages and technologies we use it when we develop some kind of website or service, etc. For example, here we can use it Python and Django, for example, for the backend and some kind of model. And so we need to add some main keywords in our story. And also about the projects, we need to so one or two of our, for example, if we did several projects, you need to include so best ones, for example, one or two projects, and you need to write some short stories, and so what kind of things you did, so accomplishment, and maybe measured by something, and you did something else. And also you need to tell about your language knowledge, and if you have some an open source link or the link of the service which is opened, provides the link fully written. For example, fully written means that you don't need to do some hyperlink, so you need to write all parts of your link. In some places, for example, CV can be printed and recruiters can see your CV on the paper. In that case, you need to write fully written links. we need to write about our skills. So for example, so what kind of programming languages we use, and what kind of technologies, and some other skills, for example OOP patterns and etc. You need to put them in your skills, and you need to sort them by the level of your knowledge. So which part of skills you know better, you need to write them in the first row. Here we can see the list of actions which we can do or which we cannot do. For example, when we divide our CV in several parts, for example, we need to divide them in some clear sections, which are education, experience, and etc. And here we can use also some bullet points and different font styles if we need them. So these bullet points are helpful when a recruiter can read our data, and they can easily understand some parts. And also the main things that we need to use some software developer oriented keywords, which are developed some software and built some system, implemented some integration with another services, or etc. And we need to limit our CV with maximum 1 page, and we can use a single column or we can use 2 columns. And here's the things we don't need to do. So we don't need to put a lower priority information, for example, at the top, and we don't just list our projects. When you write some project names, so it doesn't explain anything. So we need to write and explain our projects, and so what we did and how we did, and so the main things our impact in that kind of project. And we don't need to write about our team, company, projects, for example. So what kind of projects can be done with our company, and etc. So we need to write the things which are related with our work, so what we did in some projects. And we don't need to add some irrelevant information, for example hobbies, nature, language, some life motto, and etc. And also don't include your or project objectives, and don't include your age, nationality, or photo. Share it with useful links. So let's look at the first one. And in the first one, so in careercap.com, we can see here the useful article about CV. So this is what a good resume should look like. So here's some template. So here we have some sections of 11-12 sections. Each sections have their description. So what we need to write and what we don't have to write, and we can download this template in Word type or in LaTeX. So we can use this useful article, and we can read some writing a great resume section at cracking the coding interview book. So which is here, for example, writing a great resume. So here we have some tips also. So you can read them later in the book. So here we have some employment history. So on how we need to write some experience list, and also about projects, and here about software programming languages, and etc. And also some advice for non-native English speakers and internationals. And so you can read them later in the book. And also I shared it with some useful link of Overleaf. So here we have some templates. So when you open Overleaf, you can search by resume CV, and here we have several useful templates. If you like this kind of style, you can use this CV. for example, in my CV, I used these templates. So here are some links, and in the end, you have this kind of homework. So you need to rewrite your CV according to the given advices, and apply with your CV to 9 propositions, so which are links from the first homework, so which are 3 positions for Google, 3 for Facebook and Amazon. And if you have some friends which are working in these companies, so you can apply with their referral. And if you don't have any referrals, you can apply without referral, so with a link. And after that, save the screen of your application and show them in practice lesson.